This presentation was prepared by Abrielle Hamilton for SUS 450. Hello, potential advisory committee members. Thank you for coming to this presentation today. You should have a physical copy of this plan that you can reference during and after the presentation. Without any further ado, let us dig into the Town of Stanford Transportation Infrastructure Improvement Plan. I have broken the plan into 4 main sections we will be covering today. First, we have the introduction, which will cover a brief overview of the community, the value and importance of participatory planning, and how it is relevant to this project. Then, we will consider the project steps and timeline. Next, we will consider how we will gather information and who we will gather information from. And finally, we will examine our communication strategy and how to plan for potential conflicts. Stanford is a town in northern Dutchess County in New York State. It has about 3,700 residents and it is predominantly white. It also enjoys a median income of $95,000 a year, which is about $20,000 above the national average. As a wealthier community, there hasn't been much consideration for accessibility or connectivity. If everyone has a car, or even multiple cars, why would we need bike lanes or buses? Natural spaces in the community are cherished, but economic opportunities are often underutilized. Limited affordable housing and transportation options also hinder marginalized groups from moving into the town. There is an active rezoning project seeking to address the issues of accessible housing. Improving transportation infrastructure could foster connectivity and economic growth while attracting new residents and reducing CO2 emissions. The town of Stanford faces significant transportation challenges with limited public transit options and inadequate biking and pedestrian infrastructure. The absence of sidewalks and safe biking routes hampers connectivity and forces reliance on cars, even over short distances. Proposed solutions include adding sidewalks and biking infrastructure and expanding public transit. The project entails 2 main phases: vision planning with community input and action planning to outline the objectives and steps. Collaboration between the public and planners is vital to finding practical and acceptable solutions. Ultimately, the project aims to enhance connectivity, promote sustainable transportation, and stimulate economic growth in Stanford. Participatory planning involves actively including the public in decision-making processes, ensuring that projects truly meet the needs and desires of the community. In our project, we're aiming to reach a collaboration level of participation. This means working closely with the public and incorporating their input directly into the decision-making. To achieve this, it's crucial to understand what collaboration entails. According to the EPA Public Participation Guide, collaboration means working together with the public directly engaged in the decision-making process. At this level, the project commits to engaging the public in planning activities and incorporating their input to the fullest extent possible. This ensures the solutions are reflective of the community consensus. To facilitate effective collaboration, we will employ several strategies that include establishing a steering committee comprised of stakeholders from all relevant groups, maintaining transparency and open communication by sharing project information with the public at every stage, and holding multiple visioning sessions throughout the project to gather diverse perspectives. Now that we understand the project background, we can look at the project steps and timeline. On the left side of your slide, you will see the project diagram, and you will find a full-size version of this on page 8 in your written report. At this point, we are in step 1. We have identified the need for a change. Now, we need to communicate and tell the public that this project is happening. Ensuring that the public knows that the project is happening and how they can be involved from the very beginning is essential when trying to reach the collaborate level of participation. Next, we will need to begin to collect and analyze available data about the community. This includes things like demographic data and safety data. Then we can identify what are the community issues and needs. Then we can determine what are the goals and objectives needed to address these challenges and needs. At this point, we can bring all of our previously gathered information together to help the community create a vision plan. Then we will share the vision plan with the entire community and allow opportunity for comments and make revisions as necessary. Once the vision plan has reached consensus, we can begin work on planning how to turn the vision into a reality. And then we can formulate our action plan. At this point, we will share the action plan for feedback and again make adjustments as needed based on public comment. As we move on to the next phase in the project, it is important that we continue the open and clear communication with the public. We need to keep them informed about what is going on or not going on with the implementation. As you may have noticed, one of the key things we need to do for this project is gather information. This leads us to two questions. Where are we going to get that information, or who are we going to ask for the information? And what information do we need? First, let us consider who we need to gather information from. Because our project is focused on including the public in our planning process, we have compiled a diverse and inclusive list of stakeholders. This includes the residents of Stanford, local businesses, county government and public transit officials, state government, town government, local natural and environmental groups, and tourists. And then, what are we going to ask these stakeholders? We have prepared an exhaustive list of questions found on page 10 in your report. But the first and most important question is, what are the current challenges and needs within the community, and how does transportation play into these challenges and needs? Over the course of this project, there will be many meetings and events that allow for public participation. The first activity we have planned for this project is a two-part event with a walking tour and a photo survey. Since one of the main goals of this project is to create meaningful engagement to achieve a level of collaboration, the first activity will be focused on the town resident stakeholder group. Over the course of this event, we want to identify what issues the community feels are important and how they might like to see those issues corrected. A walking tour with the opportunity to converse and take photographs will serve as the first part of this event. I have included a few maps of proposed walking tour routes. The routes cover the main business district and the public park. We could offer various routes for people to choose from based on mobility, or select the route that best balances mobility with being informative. Additionally, we may want to procure a few golf carts to transport people with limited mobility. At the conclusion of the walking tour, we will convene at the public meeting space in the town park, print out the images people took, and have a facilitated discussion and photo survey. You can view the specifics of the photo survey event on page 14 of your report. Outreach is the process of informing the stakeholders about what is going on and encouraging them to be involved, and it is an essential part of participatory planning. Closely related to outreach is communication. Communication is information you provide to the public. Both outreach and communication require intentional planning to be effective. Let's take a quick look at the project communication strategy, and more details can be found on page 17 of your report. The types of communication we will utilize include social media posts, a project website, email blasts, and mailed or posted flyers. We want to focus on reaching commonly overlooked demographics in our community. This includes youth populations and low-tech or often older individuals. To communicate with the youth population, we will utilize engaging social media posts. And to connect with low-tech individuals, we will mail flyers and post them in local town businesses and community centers, like the library. Whenever working on a project of this scale, you can expect some level of conflict, and it is essential to identify where potential issues may arise and determine how to mitigate these issues. Expected challenges for this project include navigating opposing stakeholder goals, managing concerns about public sidewalks, and outright opposition to bike lanes. To overcome these issues, we propose a participatory approach that emphasizes open communication and collaboration. This includes engagement strategies such as visioning sessions, focus groups, and town hall meetings. Additionally, we plan to establish a citizen advisory committee representing the diverse stakeholders. The Stanford Transportation Project aims to improve infrastructure in the town of Stanford, addressing issues like limited public transit and pedestrian safety. It aims to enhance connectivity, economic growth, and environmental sustainability through sidewalks, bike lanes, and expanded transit options. Collaboration with stakeholders, including residents and businesses, is key. Goals include reaching a high level of public participation with a specific focus on youth and older populations and addressing multiple transportation issues comprehensively. Strategies involve community input, actionable objectives, and extensive communication through social media, websites, and flyers. Ultimately, this project seeks to create a more inclusive, sustainable, and vibrant community. Thank you so much for coming today.